Most cases of depression create feelings of sadness and despair, but one type can begin with feelings of unlimited energy, enthusiasm, and creativity. 30 years ago, Dennis Hagler, a Peace Corps volunteer stationed in Malaysia, started feeling better than well. He felt inspired.
I went from feeling very good, feeling very productive, to feeling I thought I had to be God.
Dennis was suffering from a condition called bipolar disorder, also known as manic depression.
I had a great future in front of me. I never thought in a million years that I was basically harboring a gene that would cause mental illness for the rest of my life.
You wouldn't know it on the street, what these people are coping with. And yet, when things crash, they crash.
Mania takes many forms: wild spending, excessive talking, but eventually these activities give way and spiral into crushing depression. 15% of all people with this condition will commit suicide. The cycles of manic depression are unpredictable. Phases of mania can last for weeks. Depressive episodes can stretch for months or years. A naturally occurring salt called lithium is the first line of treatment. It is not an SSRI, but it does smooth out the highs and lows. Unfortunately, lithium didn't help Dennis, and a long period of trial and error with different drugs began.
The isolation is enormous. You don't want to see your friends. You don't want to see anybody. Socialization is almost impossible. So isolation, I think, is one of the main problems with depression.
As Dennis struggled with his condition, a new form of therapy emerged: support groups.
You're not acting like a normal person.
For 20 years, I was pretty much out in the cold with this, alone with this, and never met people that had it other than in the hospital. And then I saw that they were all just like me, and that they had all gone through the same things, and that we had a connection more than I've had with anybody I ever met.
It doesn't go away after
30 years after his first episode, Dennis's story reminds us even the most difficult cases of depression can improve with treatment. A great challenge facing scientists is finding ways to see depression in the human body. It's no easy task.
The brain is an organ that's locked in a solid box. An X-ray of the head basically shows you bone.
But now, advances in medical imaging are allowing researchers to see past the skull and into the brain.
Over the last 15 to 20 years, there's been a development of tools that allow you to look at the brain in a way that we never could look at it before.
Scientists are trying to see how depression affects normal brain activity.
If somebody is at risk for the disorder or is actually living through it, certain parts of the brain are probably not working the way they would in someone who's not experiencing depression.
Understanding how brains manage moods and emotions is the first step to seeing depression. To see depression in the brain, they start with an MRI scan. It provides an X-ray-like image of the brain's interior. This is the orbitofrontal lobe, an area scientists believe controls moods and emotions. Researchers can't see depression in these pictures. They extract data from the images to create graphs which illustrate what chemicals are present and active in the human brain. Results are preliminary, but one substance, choline, which is essential for the production of cell membranes, has been found in abnormally high levels in depressed teenagers. Scientists hope this discovery will lead to the Holy Grail: improved diagnosis and treatment before the disease strikes.
The hope is that you can actually get in there and correct the functioning of cells that aren't functioning